Have you ever asked yourself, did I just hear that North American English speaker spit that sound? Was that like a little bit of blowing there? I think blowing their air when they're talking. If you've ever thought, wow, that North American English speakers have a bit of a sound that comes out at you and it feels a bit different than your pronunciation, then you're not alone. It is something that definitely exists. It's not in your head, and I want to explain that for you today. The reason I want to explain this, I want to teach you how to identify if you're using your airflow, or fancy term for it, aspiration, in that North American accent way, or if there's a significant difference in how you pronounce a word. So if you're saying Peter versus Peter, it's a different sound and it just affects the clarity of your North American English pronunciation. It's not going to affect you being understood generally, but this is just about clarity. So hello, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Rebecca Bauer. I am an English pronunciation accent coach. I am also a speech language pathologist, and I'm an author, and I have courses. I basically spend all my time helping people speak English clearly, being understood, feeling confident, and feeling clear when you're speaking, because nobody likes to be asked, pardon me, excuse me, sorry, I didn't get that, all day long. This sounds like a bad experience. So today we're going to talk about aspiration. It's really just blowing air. Okay, let's not go too fancy here. Blowing air or spitting out the air for certain sounds in English. This aspiration sound occurs in 3 letters. P, 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 T, 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 and K, 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 K. And they happen at the beginning of words or stressed parts of words when we speak. So the difference between having no airflow versus an aspirated airflow. Now, what's the difference between me saying potato versus potato? There's something different. Potato, potato. The difference is airflow. And it doesn't sound so different that you can't understand what that first version was, but it sounds significantly different. So let's get into the rules of aspiration. When you look at IPA, you'll often see a sound with a tiny little H beside it. It's really high up in the corner, it's a little tiny H, and you're thinking, what's that there for exactly? When I see the word put, you see that little H. That little H is to tell you, there's a bit of aspiration. There's a little puff of air blowing there. And so what I want you to do is I want you to feel a little for yourself. Okay, let's do some practice together. Put your hand in front of your mouth and I want you to feel breath. A very quick, short, tiny puff of hot air. If you can feel that air, we're good to move on. Let's do some with the P, T, and K sounds. Same thing, feel it. Pushing out air just a little bit. It's quiet, it's short, but it's there. Ba, 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 pa, pa, pa. Let's do a little bit of T. Hand in front. T, t, t. You should feel it on your hand or on your bottom lip. That's basically your air blowing out and you can physically feel it. And then the K sound. K, k, k. Let's do without our hands. P, t, k. I definitely feel on my bottom lip. You should too if you're trying this out. Remember, this is going to happen at the beginning of a word or the beginning of a very stressed part of the word. We'll get into some examples later, but let's do some simple airflow for P, T, and K words together so that you absolutely know you're doing it right. I'm going to show you no airflow versus airflow. Peter, Peter. Put, put. Play, play. Pick, pick. Bower, power. Okay, let's do some T words and feel that airflow. Do, no airflow. To, today, today. Tomorrow, tomorrow. Take, take. dime, time. If you can hear the difference and feel the difference, you're on the right track. All right, let's do some K. Gar, car, Gary, carry, gi, key, gan, can, gut, cut. If you can feel the airflow, you're right on track. A little note about the ends of words. There is no aspiration of PTK at the ends of words, so you don't have to worry about really blowing out those little puffs of air. But I would have you just pay attention to whether you're sucking the air in. Let me give you an example. If I had the word it, IT, if I were to suck the air in versus pushing it out, feel the difference. It, I'm kind of squeezing the air in my mouth. It, versus out. It. I'll do out as well. Out. I'm kind of squeezing it within my mouth versus air out. Aspirated. Out. Now I'm not aspirating it out, but I am releasing it generally. So there's a difference between sucking in and just letting it out. You're releasing it in an outwards way rather than sucking it in. So let's give an example of a sentence. I'm going to do some P sounds. Okay, I want you to feel that p. You'll need a pen and a pencil. You'll need a pen and a pencil. Pen and pencil. If you're looking for more practice, check out my course. You can always get lots of crazy amounts of practice there, but really this is just about being aware and understanding the rules. Now let's get into some examples of where it gets a bit weird, a little strange. I'm going to show you some words that have multiple P's or multiple T's, and I want you to decide which one are we going to aspirate. Okay, so here's my test for you. Are you ready? Here it is. Paper. Notice the first P is aspirated. Paper. The second P is not. Pay is the beginning of a word and it's stressed. Paper. The second P is in an unstressed position and it's not at the beginning. So you don't have to worry about that aspiration. Pepper. The P at the beginning is aspirated. The P in the middle, or P's, are not. What about sports? Well, the P is not at the beginning of the stressed syllable, it's the second one. So we're not going to add airflow there. Let's try cactus. We have a k at the beginning and one in the middle. You're right, you guessed. The one in the beginning, we're going to stress and we're going to aspirate. Cactus. The second one, no airflow. And here's a trickster for you. Potato. Oof, what's going on here? So we have the P at the beginning. That P is aspirated. So that's an easy one. We have some more T's though. What do we do there? Let's decide which part of this word is sung or high pitch and stressed. Potato. Okay, so that middle part, that middle syllable is the stressed syllable. So that's why that T is aspirated, you guessed it. So we have a P aspirated, a T aspirated, and the other guy, forget it, no. Potato. Okay, let's test you on another. What about guitar? Which syllable is stressed? Do I say guitar? Or do I say guitar? That's right, the second syllable. So if the beginning of that second syllable starts with a PTK, we're going to aspirate it. So it will not be guitar, but guitar. And if you like information about how we actually say things versus what we think we're saying, there are a lot of really strange things we do in English. Check this video out because it's all about crazy contractions, things that we say that are nothing like you expect. And once you know the rules, boy, does it change the way you see speech and produce speech. And if you're looking for any additional information on how to practice things like this, go to my website, Proactive Pronunciation, link down below. You can check out my book, my audiobook. You can check out a course, do one-on-one coaching, or you can keep seeing me here on this channel while I give you all the tidbits and jewels of information that I teach my clients. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.